Your hearts. Take a deep breath, everybody. Breathe it all in. It's a good thing to do. I'm knowing for you today that you're up and you're at it. You're in your life consciously, you're in your life deliberately, and you want this day to be a good day. And maybe even some of us wants it to be our best day ever. Why not? Why not? Because life is in that progressive movement. It's always going higher, going higher. And I'm doing this because it's a spiraling thing. And sometimes I keep reminding us that when the spiral goes up, it's yummy. But when it comes back down to go up another notch, we sometimes think we're going backwards, but we're not. It's just the way spirals work. So, I'm knowing for each and every one, regardless of how you woke up this morning, regardless of how you felt before you tuned in, that you've already made up your mind, you've made a decision to make this a really, really good day. Because why not? Because you can. The question is, will we? Will we last the day committed to affirmation in the way we're thinking and feeling and doing and being, whether we're on our own or in company? Will we last the day? Is it possible? Because very often when you get cheery like that and you make up your mind, 5 minutes later something happens to kind of knock you, wobble you. It doesn't have to knock you off your feet though. In the wobble, you can catch yourself on and say, no, I made the resolution today that nothing is going to stop me from making this a good day. Nothing. I will not give my power to any person, place, or thing. Because that's why we get upset. We do give our power to persons and places and things. We really do. And it's good to observe that throughout the day. See where your energy goes, your thought process go. See where your importance is laid in any given day. I know we all have become very attached to gadgets. In fact, some of us make our gadgets our number one relationship. Some of us spend more time with our gadgets than we do with anybody else. And it becomes an addiction. And dare any one person look at another person and say, oh, he, she's addicted. Well, so are you, in some way or another. And not all addictions are necessarily bad. If you're addicted to gardening and so on, it can bring great joy to those who love to garden. It can be a meditation in and of itself. Walking. There are some people that do or die, no matter what has to be done, no matter what shows up. They're going to have that walk at 6 o'clock in the evening, no matter what. Nothing and no one's going to interfere with it. We can get a bit fanatical about things too. And I'm not judging anyone when I say these things. We all have to do what we have to do in order to accomplish what we think we have to accomplish, without doing any harm, that is. We must not do any harm. We're not here to harm each other in any way. And so when we do come together again in our workplaces, in our gathering places, wherever those gathering places are, let us come together as friends without judgments. Wouldn't that be lovely? Can you imagine it? Coming together as a family, coming together as friends, coming together as a group without judgments. Now I'm saying judgments, not judgment. We all need to have good judgment, but judgments. You know, that kind of thing we do with each other and people we don't even know. We get a vibe. We say we get a vibe. We say, oh, I don't like the look of that one. Don't even know the person. No judgments. Just interest. Interest. That's interesting. There's somebody who stands out. They're unique. They stand out. Keep that in your mind and let it circulate. Friendships without judgments. Friends without judgments. A harder one will be families without judgments, because we think we know the family members. We think we do. We don't really. So I think we'd be freer of COVID easier and more quickly if we could let go of the judgments. The judgments keep us separate from each other, divided in ourselves. Now, I do acknowledge that we all live in a dualistic universe. And in dualism, you get, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, this is dark, this is light, etc. And we make up our minds all of the time about persons, places, and things based on our own sense and sensibility, our own thinking, our own decision-making, our own judgments, before sometimes we even know someone. Makes no sense, does it? And we've all done it. Some of us are still doing it. Too many of us are still doing it. That's why the world is in the situation it's in. Because we think, that is better than that. These are better than these. Those are better than those, etc. Well, I have not studied one single piece of spiritual wisdom from any culture or religion that says that is a good thing. None of the traditions say that. All of the authentic traditions, spiritual traditions, say and live in accordance with the golden rule. Don't do unto anybody what you wouldn't have somebody do unto you. Do no harm. Any spiritual body of knowledge that I've studied, and I've studied a lot, and there's still more to do, would not say it's okay to do harm to anybody or anything. Now you have to understand, when it comes to spirituality, we bring our human mind to it. And remember, the human mind is limited, and therefore it cannot fully understand the unlimited, which is the nature of the divine, the nature of the creative spirit in life. So we do the best we can with as much light as we have allowed ourselves to have, to entertain. But think of it like this. Most of us are like, we're in this amazing arena with all beautiful and great good things in it. But we're in the dark. And we're trying to decide what everything is in the dark. Very difficult to do that. There's a blindness within the human nature when it comes to mindfulness and understanding. And that's why, Jesus said, can the blind lead the blind? Is that possible? Well, I suppose they can, but not very well. That's probably also why he said, don't stop, for heaven's sake, stop looking at all the faults and failings in your neighbor when you haven't got a clue about all your own faults and failings yet. It's the log and the beam thing, the story from the scriptures, which is told in ancient ways of telling stories. That's what he was saying in truth. For heaven's sake, stop it now. Don't go on like that. Close your mouth while you still can. Because everything you see in your neighbor and everything you're criticizing, you're only seeing it and criticizing it because it's within you. That's how you know it. So be kind to yourself and your neighbor and stop it. Yes, but I saw them do this, that, and the other. Yes, you did. And we will do everything we can when we see somebody else endeavoring to injure another person in any way. But that doesn't mean you have to vilify the person. Who knows what state of mind a person is in when they are doing harm? I would almost guarantee you that they're not in their right mind. Because if you and I were in our right mind, we would no more do the slightest harm, never mind any big harm, because we would understand what I'm doing out there to whomsoever, whatsoever, I am doing to myself, because it comes right back at me as what goes around comes around. All thought and action is creative, because action comes from thought. It's creative. So if you're creating hell for somebody else, I'll guarantee you there are two people creating hell for you, because it comes back at us with dividends somewhere. Even if for no other reason than not to be punished ourselves, we remained good behaved, it would make more sense than to think for a slight second that you and I will get away with anything because nobody knows, nobody heard. Ah, how sad it is when the birds come home to roost. We get away with nothing. And that is why you often hear me say, don't worry about people getting their comeuppance. You don't have to worry about people getting punished and getting their comeuppance and so on and so forth. Nor do you ever have to wish that on anybody. Not on the vilest of people. Because your own life takes care of that, because of the law of reciprocity, the law of compensation, the law of attraction, wherever you want to call the law. What goes around comes around. Now, you hear that all over, lots and lots and lots of times, but nobody realizes it. The awesomeness of that and the extent of that. Sow a good seed, you're going to get a crop of good plants. Sow a bad seed, you get nothing. Nothing. Maybe you get sickly seeds growing as plants. It's not what we want, is it? And of all times in life and living, this is the most perfect time on this planet to find out who we are and the kind of stuff we're made of. Perfect timing. We called it upon ourselves. We're going through these experiences, all of them, and there are lots of them, of a negative kind because we call them up. Our consciousness going out there, thought after thought after thought after thought from all of us as individuals, have created the circumstances and the situations in the world today. And because there are more of us than ever on the planet today, there are greater experiences than ever before. There's greater consciousness around. Now that's a hard frog to swallow for many people. Every single little careless thought or feeling, every single little negative thought or feeling, every single little niggly thing goes into the great cauldron, the pot of collective consciousness, and creates the soup of it. Some of it is rather poisonous. Now, what do you want to pour into the pot of creative consciousness today? Will it bring a beautiful, savory flavor to it? Beautiful aroma to it? Or will it be meh? Or will it be quite the opposite? Sourness, bitterness. Because every single thought you think and every single thought I think and feel and you feel and so on creates the flavor of the day in the great collective conscious soup bowl. That's how powerful you are. You've awesome power, you've great power. And the thinking and the feeling that gets us into trouble with a change can get us out of trouble, regardless of what it is, big, little, or small. Because there is no great and small in infinite intelligence. There's only what you think and feel into it. So what got me into the soup as trouble can get me out of the soup as good. So what is it going to be? Because all of us are dealing with something at the moment. All of us are dealing with something or another that is challenging, that is difficult, something that maybe we're trying to avoid or postpone or putting, whatever that is, grab it by the horns, take it on, and say enough already. I'm tired being annoyed with him or her or whatever. I'm tired hanging on to this ailment. I'm tired feeling low in energy, etc. Whatever it is that is exhausting you, because it does exhaust us. Negativity exhausts us. And remember, try and look at every day like, okay, you get 100% of energy every single day. You're tanked up. Your tank is full. But you're going to spend that energy throughout the day, and you're going to recharge that energy throughout the day. You're going to recharge the energy a lot throughout some days, because if you don't, you'll end up by the end of the day running on fumes. And running on fumes is no fun at all. Not for you or for those around you. So once we get up and get into the day, things happen that may be causing us some kind of an anxiety or stress or strain or whatever, and that diminishes our energy. But energy doesn't have to diminish, and it is okay to feel a little anxious or whatever. But then you have to know how to replenish the energy. So you pause. You say, I need to take a breath. I need to breathe now and stop thinking. I just need to breathe. I need to fill myself up with that cosmic life force so that I can know I can handle anything that crosses my path today. And you can. Now, it's harder to do this once we've let ourselves get deeper into the trench of whatever the ailment is, whether it's a mental one or physical one or spiritual one or whatever, emotional one. But if you catch it on in the beginning, you just catch that on in the beginning, oh, my energy is diminishing, I better do something about it. You'll be amazed at how great and good you'll get at it. You'll become an expert at it. And you'll always have a hop, a skip, and a jump in your step, even at the end of the day. If you remember to contact the essential source and energy of your being throughout the day by deeply breathing. Deeply breathing, not the shallow breathing we all do most of the day. But you breathe in, you breathe out. You do the yoga breathing, yoga breath. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. It's all over the internet. You just feel that energy when you take a deep breath, don't you? Well, I'm knowing for you for the rest of your day now that you're ready to roll up your spiritual sleeves and be all that you can be, that you are ready now for something more and something different. You're ready now to be the best that you can be. Explore it. Explore being your best. How will I be my best? Through the way I'm thinking, through the way I'm feeling to begin with, and through what I'm doing. I don't want to waste, and you don't want to waste a moment's breath on negativity of any kind. We really don't. But we're in the habit of it. We're in the bad habit of gossip, etc., etc. I'm not going into that because I want to stay on the right side of life, which is the bright side of life. That's what we want to stay on. When you're moving into the shadows, jump into the light. You can. No matter what it is, nothing is too big or too large that spirit, by means of you, cannot cope with, take care of. Mend, fix, heal, amend. Let it go or attract something good in. You have the capacity. Nobody has any more capacity than you have. And it all begins with thinking. There's nothing good nor bad, as William Shakespeare said, but thinking makes it so. So I'm going to leave you with that thought right now. And I'm going to know for you throughout the day, all those people who are listening in this morning are feeling good. Their energy is high. And I will know that breath of life moving through you for you. Let us do it for each other. And let us do it for everybody in the world. I know that the breath of life is re-energizing every mind, body, heart, and soul on this plane today. If enough of us did that, this day would be a phenomenal day like none other. Because combined energy has awesome power. So I'm going to leave you with that now. So I'm going to ask us all to relax, release, and let go of some one thing that has been weighing upon us, so that not only with our own life feel good, but the life in the world will rise a little too. I think we're all capable of doing that. Just hone in on one thing the rest of the day. No, I'm not going there. Said I wouldn't, and I'm not. So just know all is well. And it will be, because what you know happens, what you believe happens, what you expect you experience, and that really and truly is the truth. As much as it is lovely to be in your company, you have things to do, I have things to do that's on our schedules today. It's lovely when we get those moments when we're not on schedules, but we are today. But I love just having this time with you, and I can't tell you how we are all looking forward to meeting and greeting and seeing you on Sunday. It is a good day indeed when we can say this and when it happens. And right now we're going to be grateful. We're going to give thanks for all of the blessings that we have. And I can assure you that we have more blessings than we even know about in this town, in this country, compared to what other people are dealing with elsewhere. And that's why we bless our gifts, because we know that we have enough, and from that enoughness, we have the ability to share. So let's take our gift between our blessing hands and say, Divine love consecrates my gift, blesses it. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in sharing my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. And I want to thank you so very much. All of you, our dear, dear members and friends, who have supported our work throughout these months, long months of COVID, and continue to do so. Because of you doing that, in your name and in your nature, great good has happened all around and about us. Wonderful things have happened because of that. So I thank you so deeply from the bottom of my heart. And I'm so sad I was not able to get in touch with every single person, even though we had 15 months to do so. There has been so many people in need. But I didn't forget you, and I did think about you, and I continue to think about you. And so take very good care of yourself, because you're the best one to know what your needs are. So take care of your needs, take care of yourself, and when you do that, you're better able to take care of others too. Because when you're coming from energy, and when you're coming from wellness, and when you're coming from a good sense of mind, you have much more capacity to create more good in the world. So know that you're loved, know that you're cherished, know that we're deeply and truly grateful. Know that we're here for you, but my dear ones, we don't know what your needs are unless you let us know. And there's no use waiting to hear from someone. If you're waiting to hear from someone and you haven't heard from them and you want to hear from them, pick up the phone and call. We're delighted when people do that. So please, we're here to serve. Know that. And again, thank you for all the difference you're making in the world by your good thoughts, your good feelings, your good deeds. You are definitely making the difference and helping the healing to happen more quickly. So until we meet on Sunday, my dear ones, do stay in touch and come and join us and let us know that we're beginning on Sunday the creation of something new and different, really. We're not going back, we're going forward. We don't want to go back the way things were, because the way things were weren't all that hotsy-totsy for many, many people. We want to go forward into creating a world that's better than ever it was before, by ourselves being better than ever we were before, yes? And now I'm going to leave you as the children do. Take care now, and know that you are so unique and amazing that we couldn't be who we are without you.